Did I hit it?
Yeah, you hit it.
Hi guys, I'm Bree and this is Ben. And we're realtors.
Jason, should we say we're realtors?
Oh wait, hold on. Hi guys, I'm Bree and this is Ben.
Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Ben. This is Bree. We're a husband and wife. We've lived in Arizona our entire life, and in this video, we're going to tell you what it's really like living in Arizona. A couple of locals.
Perfect. Let's get into it.
All right. Well, I guess the first thing that we have to talk about, because that's what everyone talks about in these types of videos, is the weather.
Yeah, it's hot, and when people say that it's like, oh, it's a dry heat, it's not that hot. No.
It's still hot.
It's still really hot.
Still hot.
115 degrees is 115 degrees, you know?
In the summers, we've gotten up to 120, and you feel it.
They literally could not let planes fly.
Yeah, there was a point in Phoenix where the airlines were grounded because the manuals that they were using didn't go up to the temperature that it was at the airport. However, the winters is what everyone raves about, which is why we get a lot of people that move into the Phoenix area during the winter and only for the winter.
Yeah.
Because we get California weather in the winter, and it doesn't ever get much colder than 30, and that's like at night, dead winter. But mainly we're looking around 60s, 70s, 50s sometimes if it's really cold. Occasionally we've gotten a couple of days of like snow, but it never sticks.
A weird drizzling of...
Mm-hmm.
What is that stuff called? Flurries! It's just like flurries. That's what it's called, and then it doesn't stick.
Apparently it's like flurries.
It's flurry.
And then between summer and winter, we have what's called monsoon season, which we get about... like 10 days or so of downpour, followed by dust storms, which we call haboobs, which is interesting. And if you've never seen something like that, it literally, if you've seen the movie Mad Max, it kind of looks like a post-apocalyptic thing.
And weren't haboobs, like, it's not even the official, like, it's a dust storm, and then like some news reporter and like,
I don't know,
called it a haboob, and now it's just called a haboob, but really it's a dust storm.
It's a dust storm, but we call it haboobs.
And they like roll through the valley. Like you see it coming. Like over there it's the sunlight, and then over there it's like...
Yeah, it's like, oh shit, there's a wall of dust coming. Let's get home because
Close
we
your
won't
windows.
be able to see.
Close your mouth.
Yeah. It really sucks when you walk out to your car and you left your window down and it's full of dust. So
your house is full of dust. Everything. It's awful.
Anyways, now that we talked about that, we can move on. So layout of Phoenix metropolitan area is kind of interesting, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so it's a very spread out city.
Yeah.
So we've got bunch of cities within the Phoenix metropolitan area.
You got
Scottsdale,
Gilbert, Tempe,
Chandler, Queen Creek. If you look around to the northwest, east, south, you see mountains.
Bowl.
We're just in a bowl. With Phoenix being so spread out, the public transportation is kind of sucks.
Terrible.
It's terrible.
I lived in San Francisco, and it's so easy to get from point A to point B using buses and trains, and you don't have that option here. You've
got like in other major cities, you can hop on a bus every 15 minutes or 30 minutes or whatever. Here, if you happen to take the bus or you want to take the bus, you miss it, you got to wait an hour. It's not reliable. There's not very many, and
it's not very interconnected. You're not going to go from like one city to another. It's like you might have to take a bus
and then walk to another bus stop and take another bus. It's difficult.
Yeah.
We've got like one light rail that's kind of helpful when you're in downtown Phoenix, and they're expanding it and it's growing, but it's just not usable right now. And so if you come to Phoenix and if you move in here, you pretty much have to have a car.
Yeah, especially if you're living in some of the more affordable places like Quinn Creek.
Yeah, because those
Santan Valley.
Because those are kind of, unless you work in Queen Creek, Santan Valley, you're gonna have to drive 20-30 minutes or wherever to where you need to work. And that's another thing, is like traffic's not too bad in Phoenix. We have morning and afternoon traffic, and it's very predictable, and you know when and where it's gonna be, and so you can kind of adjust where you live and where you work so you don't have to be in traffic. The carpool lane actually works for the most part.
Yeah.
If you have two people, unlike other places where the carpool lane is still backed up. And no one follows the speed limit. So that's another thing about driving in Phoenix. We've got so many people that come in from all over the areas that we've got all these different driving styles. But the one consistent is speed. Because we have to travel so far, we go 15, 20 miles over the speed limit. I'm not saying that you should, but if you go the speed limit, you should stick to the right side of the road.
So, I mean, there's a lot to do in Phoenix.
Yeah.
The nightlife, the outdoor activities.
When it's not 120 out. There's a lot of people that go running, biking, hiking. Yeah, because we're in this valley, and so there's all these mountains all over the place where you can go for a hike.
Golfing's huge.
Is huge here. There's about 100 golf courses. Not even exaggerating. I think there's probably 100 golf courses in the valley.
Yeah, it's a ton.
It's about on every block.
There's a lot of restaurants.
There's a lot of restaurants.
So, I mean, like, a lot of the restaurants that you see in like LA and Las Vegas are also here in Scottsdale and Phoenix, mostly in Scottsdale though.
Yeah, Chandler,
yeah.
Yeah, so a lot of little boutique restaurants are starting to pop up a lot more in Phoenix, which is awesome.
Yeah.
So you get a lot of different variety and kind of unique dishes, which is pretty cool. Phoenix also has a very big art scene.
Huge.
So there's tons of artists and events that happen pretty much every week.
Yeah, so I used to work at Phoenix Art Museum, and there's First Friday and there's Third Thursday. So every First Friday, like, they block off the streets. It used to be predominantly on Roosevelt Row, so Roosevelt is a street in downtown Phoenix. And basically what would happen is all the galleries open their doors, museums stay open late, and have all kinds of events and programming. And there's people who are selling their arts and crafts and goods. You have like little like art markets. There's lots of food. Mm-hmm. There's people on the street just playing their music. People on the street are just like dancing. The city like really comes alive.
Now, obviously, that's not really a thing right now because of COVID. But I'm pretty sure once we come back to whatever the new normal is after this pandemic, we will start seeing First Friday again, and it'll be a good thing. Be a nice, fun activity to go to. And speaking of museums, there's a bunch of museums.
Pause. Also, there's a shuttle. There's a shuttle that takes you from different locations and different events on First Friday. So that's also a cool thing to know.
There's a ton of museums to go to. So you got Phoenix Art Museum,
SMOCA, Scottsdale Museum of Contemporary Art, the Arizona Science Center, which is great for kids. Great. And typically a lot of schools will go there for field trips because it's super educational. Children's Museum, a lot of like Little Tyke stuff. Also, I think it's closed right now because it's so interactive.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like galleries that are popping up, like Wonder Spaces.
Wonder Spaces.
Wonder Spaces in Scottsdale, which is very interactive, immersive art that you can like experience. There's a lot of VR stuff, a lot of things that you can touch that make noise.
There's the very popular instrument museum.
Yeah, the Musical Instrument Museum, MIM.
Yeah.
And they have like, they're super high tech, and you like walk by and hear music. Wait, there's one more. The Herd. which is really great to get to know the Native community in Arizona, and they have some of the most amazing exhibitions. Bars and clubs.
Yeah, so when you're done doing stuff during the day, there's plenty of things to do at night. We've got there's basically three areas of clubs and 2 areas of kind of bars.
Yeah.
So you've got the famous Scottsdale. It's Old Town Scottsdale. People come from all over for
Canada. One girl.
Literally, we met somebody from Canada that came down for a bachelorette party, and these areas are just a street of clubs where you can, like, if you were to bar hop, you would just club hop.
Yeah.
You would go in and out of whatever club you want to.
And it's literally like
it's literally
like a horseshoe almost. I mean, it's mostly the street.
It's just a street, and it has a L or whatever. And, and usually there's no cover, so you can walk in and out of every club you want. If there's not a line, and sometimes there's a cover if there's an event or something like that. But yeah, Scottsdale's kind of the more high-end
like
clubs.
Las Vegas-esque wannabe.
But then if you want something a little bit more low-key but still really nice, there's Gilbert, downtown Gilbert. They have a lot of options. And then you've got Mill Avenue as well. It's kind of more of a college scene. It's right on ASU campus, and so you get a lot of college kids, and it's a little more crazy if you're into that kind of stuff. and then you got Chandler and downtown Phoenix. Downtown Chandler, downtown Phoenix, they're kind of more bars.
I'd say, and the difference really between downtown Chandler and downtown Phoenix is that downtown Phoenix bars are really spread out. So because downtown Phoenix has downtown, and then there's like this like radius around downtown Phoenix that also has bars, so there's not going to be the same bar hopping. Even with Chandler, you can kind of walk around the bars in downtown Chandler.
Yeah, downtown Chandler again is like a street that has a bunch of bars and restaurants that are really nice to go to if you want even more low key. And then Phoenix is got
not
more
walkable.
Not too walkable, but there's a lot of the boutique and kind of unique
very
bars,
cool bars
and restaurants in downtown. And then in Phoenix, we're surrounded by a lot of reservation, and on those reservations there's pretty much a casino on every reservation. There's 4 casinos, I think, that are very close driving distance, and then there's one a little bit farther, so like 5 casinos that you could go to if you're into gambling or anything like that. So one of the pretty big reasons that we're getting a lot of people that are moving into Phoenix is that the cost of living is pretty low. Now you can go and get $1 million home, but again, like $1 million home here is pretty much going to give you like a mansion versus $1 million home in California that's going to give you like a shack. Not that extreme, but you kind of get the picture. But then you can go also get $250,000, $300,000 home, and it'll be perfectly fine. So it just kind of depends on the area you want to live. So Mesa, South Phoenix, Glendale, those are going to be kind of your lower end cities that you can live in. And then you've got your kind of mid tiers. So Chandler, Phoenix can be both.
Yeah, Phoenix has a good mix of like $1 million homes and $500,000 homes.
Tempe is kind of more of a mid-range, and Phoenix is kind of weird though. You know, you could have $1 million home on one street, and then right next to it, it'd be a $300,000 home, like literally like a street away. And it's we've got these like pockets.
Those $1 million homes have been there
for a while,
for a very long time. And it's kind of the mid-tier houses that are starting to be renovated and be these like desirable bungalow type homes.
And a lot of if you go to buy like a residential home and not a new build, most every house in the Phoenix area has a yard. You know, we kind of value yards pretty highly in Phoenix. Now the new builds that are coming up, they're going less and less because we've got so much movement coming in. So if you go to get a new build, a lot of times you're gonna have kind of like a California type yard where it's not super big. It's kind of more like a patio or whatever. All right,
Bonus round.
So that was the 5 things that you should know. Now, there's a couple of random things that don't really fit into a category that you should know before moving to Phoenix. So those weird prickly little trees that you see in photos and everything that...
Are you talking about a cactus?
Yeah. The cactuses that you see.
Cacti.
Oh, the cacti. My bad, man. I'm butchering this. So the cacti that you see in all the photos of the desert when you look up Phoenix or Arizona or anything like that, it's called saguaro.
Saguaro.
It's not saguaro.
Saguaro.
So if you come to Phoenix and you're like, oh wow, the saguaros are so great, you might get looked at a little funny. So it's saguaro. We pronounce things a little weird.
But on that note, Tempe is Tempe, not Tempe.
Yeah.
Casa Grande is Casa Grande, not Casa Grande.
Now I've heard it both ways. I've heard Casa Grande and Casa Grande, but a lot of people say Casa Grande because we're white. So
I'm not.
I shouldn't say that. But a lot of people say Casa Grande, not Casa Grande. And so you'll pick up those little things when you live here. Now the freeways, if you're from the East Coast area or maybe even north, you might think it's a little weird that we call I-10 the 10 or the 101 or the 202,
60.
the 60, and we always put a the in front of the freeway, and that's just kind of how we talk. So if somebody says, oh yeah, just go down the 10, that's why. Another interesting tip is Arizona has its own time zone. Not really, we're mountain time zone, but we don't follow daylight savings. So if you go to your phone to set a time zone, you literally have to pick Arizona, or else your phone will go into the daylight savings. But because we have so much sun, we don't see the need to move the clock forward and back.
Yeah.
So a lot of times we'll be on the same time as California, or we'll be an hour ahead. A lot of people that live in Phoenix aren't tan. And it's
Exhibit A.
Yeah. I literally, her family was like, how do you guys burn so easily? I thought you lived in Arizona where it's sunny 340 days a year. I was like, well, the thing is, it's 120 degrees outside, and so you don't go outside. You go from the air conditioning to the air conditioning and then back to the air conditioning.
And then if you want to walk your dog, you do it at like 8:30 p.m.
Yeah, you do it when the sun's down or barely up or barely out, And so you get a lot of people that aren't naturally tan and burn easily, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
You wouldn't think that way. Mm-hmm. Another tip, if you like chocolate, put it in the refrigerator.
Yeah, don't leave it out. Especially do not leave it in your car. Don't leave your chapstick in your car. Don't leave the crayons in your car. Don't leave your shoes in your car. That was a trick one, because the shoes will get ruined, not the car. But
True. Also hats, the brims of hats kind of will warp. When it's 120 degrees outside, it's 150 in your car. It gets hot, so you can't really leave anything in your car like that.
Don't leave anything valuable in your car.
Some people leave towels over the steering wheels because it's hot.
It's so hot that it burns your hand to hold the steering wheel.
Get the sunscreen, the sun shade or whatever. Watch out for seatbelts. They will burn you.
Jinx.
Yeah, and then all of even if you're inside the air conditioning, the chocolate will still melt. Refrigerate it. Arizona has trees. Yeah, and it has snow.
And mountains.
Big mountains. And when you Google Arizona, you see Phoenix, which is the valley. And so we have trees in the valley, we have palm trees. It's kind of weird, but we do. But it's very spread out, it's not very green. However, if you travel an hour and a half north, you'll get Sedona, and you'll get this gorgeous red rock, and you'll see, look up pictures of Sedona, and it's gorgeous. And then you
insert picture here.
Yeah, insert picture here. And then if you travel another 30 minutes north of that, you get to Flagstaff, and you're in a forest, and that's where the closest ski resort is.
Yeah.
So Snowball's up there. And they make their own snow, which is why we have snow. But we do occasionally get snowstorms up there, and so
you get fresh powder.
Yeah, and so if you need to get out of the city because you just can't stand the heat, you travel up a little north 2 hours and you're in a completely different environment, which is kind of cool. Another thing that's worth noting, this gorgeous waterfall you've seen all over Instagram. It's called Havasu Falls at Havasupai. It makes it seem like it's a day trip. It's not.
What's that movie again?
It's Next, Nicolas Cage, where they like make it seem like they walked down a staircase and they got to this gorgeous waterfall
in like 3 minutes.
No, it's a 12-mile hike. You have to walk down a canyon all day. You have to pack all of your stuff in, camp down there, or you can stay in a lodge if you want to pay for it, and then you have to hack all your stuff back out. And trust me, I've done it a couple of times. It's totally worth it if you're into that kind of stuff, but it is a trip that you have to plan because you have to get reservations and all of that. So that's a few things that you should know coming from a couple of people that have lived here our entire lives. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Obviously, we can't get everything, or we can't think of everything. So if you think we missed something, please, we'd love to hear it from you in the comments. Also, if you have any questions, we'll be there. Probably reading the comments because we'll have 3 views. But our plan is to post videos weekly for you guys, and if you like us or you want to see more, please like and subscribe. Anything else?
No.
All right. See you guys later.
Bye.